Question number 3, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, to the Minister of Finance, what was the change in real equivalised median household income before housing costs of New Zealand households from 2009-10 to 2010-11, as measured in the Household Economics Survey in dollar and in percentage terms?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Minister of Finance, over that particular time period, real equivalised median household income fell by $900 or 2.7%. The report notes that this is a direct result of the global financial crisis and the recession, so it should come as no surprise to members. The measure is quite volatile. In 6 of the last 14 observations it has fallen. This means the long-term trend is very important. Since 1994, for example, real equivalised median household income in New Zealand has increased by 43%.
Bigger.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, in light of the answer the Minister has just given that median incomes fell by nearly 3% in the years in consideration, does he agree with the Prime Minister's answer to question 3 on the 28th of August, which said, and I quote, "Median income in New Zealand has risen"? And if so, why does he consider a 3% drop to be a rise?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, I think the point is over what period of time that the median household incomes have increased. Now, the member has selected a period from 2009-10 to 2010-11. He only has to look back a couple of years prior to that to see that it has actually grown. But the fundamental point, Mr. Speaker, is that there has been a global financial crisis. And I know on Pennant Labour it didn't happen, but out here in the real world it did, and that has undoubtedly had an impact on the growth rate of people's incomes.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Speaker, in light of the Minister's reply that it was all the fault of the global financial crisis and the Canterbury earthquake, can he explain to the House why he thinks that the global financial crisis has increased the average and the income of top income earners while decreasing the median and the income of bottom income earners?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, the incidence of the impacts of the global financial crisis have occurred at different effects across the income spectrum, and I freely acknowledge that. And that's largely because there are less jobs in the New Zealand economy, and we all know that because those numbers have been there, and the unemployment rate, as we know, has been at 6.7, 6.8%. Well, actually, tax cuts don't affect people who are on benefits. What affects people on benefits is the opportunity to obtain a job, which means encouraging businesses to have confidence and grow, which means creating opportunities to do so, such as intensification of agriculture, gas and oil exploration, and all those things which the opposition shouts down.
The Honourable David Cunliffe.
Speaker, to the Minister of Finance, in light of the answer he's just given, that the tax cuts had no impact on the level of upper income earners, why does he believe that policy changes which gave tax cuts to the top, increased GST on the rest, and cost the country a deficit of an extra $1 billion over 4 years, it is factually correct, Minister, has not impacted negatively on median incomes?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the member makes about 4 or 5 propositions which are frankly incorrect. And so he runs a question which is, given this which I believe, given this which I believe, and given this which is rubbish, what do you think? And the answer, Mr. Speaker, is this, that the tax changes that we made were broadly equivalent across the sector. Yes, some individual elements of them had different effects. They don't want to hear it, Mr. Speaker, but it's true.
Question number 4, Brendan Horan. Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, I don't believe the Minister has addressed himself to the precise nature of that question.
Order. Where members insert what they claim to be fact into question, the risk they run is a minister may dispute them, which the minister did, and that's perfectly legitimate. Question number 4, Brendan Horan. Question number 4, Brendan Horan.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.